Hello and welcome to another video. So since we haven't covered a BloodCraft Darkface bat list for a while, I thought why not go revisit it and give it a go in the current meta. I mean, there's not much more to say than that, so we're going to get right into it and check it out. So this video will probably be on the shorter side as this deck is reasonably fast and we've only got a couple of maps to show off. So the couple of matches will be against Shadow for our first one here, of course, and then I'm blanking on the second one, but we'll get to it when we get to it. Not a great start, honestly. I mean, Demon's okay, I don't mind keeping that. The draw potential from it is actually quite good. Everything else was very meh and not very usable in the early game. So Lust, perfect turn 1 play, especially against Shadow, where you want to be a little more aggressive. Forcing them to use that Malice is actually really good. We can actually avoid it on the Demon next turn now, or at least less likely, as they've used one of probably 3 Malices. Lady Grey, not a problem. So, Sapphire, and a little bit of damage to face. Why not?
Why are you letting me live?
Friend Monster Girl. Card I would usually worry about, but in this situation, really not a problem. And with this Evil Eye Demon and Servant, we're actually going to be able to go pretty wide with this board. And that's going to be some pretty nice draw power. Fortunately, I should have threw the Evo on the 5-3 there, that would have been a little bit better, but having a 6-4 isn't bad either, and it does draw the attention away from the 5-3 that we don't need to quite go off yet. Although this Cerberus is definitely going to be pushing it. Luckily we did make that play now, because if we had to deal with Cerberus without a decent board, we would have been in some huge trouble. So I decided to go all in on this. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? Wings of Lust. I also throw the Parish down, just some extra draw since we don't really need anything else. Plus using it now means our Omen of Lust is 100% activated. And we're getting just that little bit of extra damage in case we end up upon a Darkface bat. Fortunately, Lady of Grey is going to slow us down. But not a huge amount, just a little bit. Now things get a little more interesting. We take 4 damage, we've got a decent Omen of Lust set up here. I mean, having all 3 in our hand definitely works in our favour. Since we can go for at least 6 damage. And we want to stop their healing, so definitely target Lady of Grey. And we take half their health with us this turn. So we're just 6 left and we can guarantee at least 2 damage here. Things do get a little tricky now though, that they've of course went for the Evos. And we kind of have to take these out. I was hoping for a good top deck. All I would have really needed was something half decent at least. What I really would have loved to have gained from that was probably a Razory or something like that. Razory plus Gift would have been perfect, but Darkface Bat is still pretty good, which is why we are drawing the game out now. Since they wouldn't be able to easily kill us in that one turn. Darkface Bat though will just instantly end their life, so it's what we really needed. And even if we had been just short, Gift of Bloodkin would have made up 2 damage, so well and truly within range. And our next match is Dragon. That's not a huge surprise, honestly. Dragon's still floating around the meta everywhere, so it's not a big shock. Dragon, Forest, Mysteria Rune, and Mid Shadow are the 3 to 4 decks that I see the most. Probably Dragon and Rune are kind of sitting just below what I see as far as Forest and Mid Shadow go. Oh well, I say Mid Shadow, but I suppose they're a blend of Mid and Arcus these days, which is basically the same sort of deck now. There's only very subtle differences. And Zoe, so this does lead me to believe this is going to be a full-on ramp dragon. We do have double Darkface Bat early on, but not really any self-damage in hand, so that's going to slow us down a little bit. And there's just a little bit more, but it's still not going to be quite enough. Roy, so looking for probably ramp, if I had to guess it. And this makes my turn a little bit better. I mean, we're going to be able to use Demon now. Still go for a couple of damage. Just work it slow and steady. Yep, as predicted, Dragon Lifeblade and Dragon Sword doesn't surprise me. They're going to go in a ramp as far as they can, so they have 8 play points next turn, which is really good for them. At least I can go for a decent draw, and that's a very decent draw. So we're only just short on taking advantage of Vera. And 2 breaths. Plus the Azure Maiden. You don't see 2 breaths that often, so that one was definitely interesting. Aiming for that draw power, for sure. But we're looking at a very, very good turn now. We're going to be able to do a lot of self-damage in one turn without taking any actual damage. Which is going to be a great advantage, and we're going to get our Florus out, which creates a great target. Along with the fact that we're going to be taking even more self-damage at the start of next turn, setting us up nicely if we want to go for a board wipe. Not that we're probably going to need it since they just played a Prince, which is going to eat up their entire turn.
Time to say goodbye.
And since we only really need to buy a single turn for Darkbeast Bat to be usable, we're in a pretty good spot. And thanks to that Blood Pact, we're actually going to use Omen of Lust with an Evo point and Wings of Lust as well to put them right within Darkbeast Bat range. So their only hope now is to have a heal. That's really it. If they can get a heal and of course wipe the board, that's really all they're going to need. And Zoe, that's a really good way to buy some time. But they did end up conceding. Obviously, Zoe buying them time, probably not going to be enough. So Blood's still a reasonably formidable deck and still quite easy to play out. It's reasonably expensive on the side of that. It's got 9 legendaries in it, which I, at the moment, am classing as the middle ground for legendaries in decks. Most really good decks will have a minimum of 9 legendaries now, and some of the cheaper ones, of course, don't, but they're an exception, not the rule. So if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to check out the link in the description below for the deck, hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Until next time, see ya.